I'm a citizen of this nation, and of all the holidays that we enjoy as citizens of this great country, I love the 4th of July. I like to wave the flag. I like to go and watch the fireworks on Town Lake and to listen to the symphony. I enjoy being with my family in the backyard and laughing and playing and eating. I love America, and I know you do too. And today we're going to talk about serving America. So please stay with us on Austin Faith Dialogue.
Austin Faith Dialogue, at the crossroads of religion and life. A series highlighting the cultural and social interactions between the worshiping and religious communities in and around the capital city. Austin Faith Dialogue is brought to you by the Austin Metropolitan Ministries in cooperation with KXAN. Join us now in Austin Faith Dialogue.
I'm Carl Gronberg, and I welcome you to another edition of Austin Faith Dialogue. Thank you for being with us. It's a great time to be a part of this country, and it's an exciting time to have the responsibilities of citizenship of this country. And the 4th of July weekend is a time for us to consider how might we make this country even better than it already is? How might we serve this country? I have with me on Austin Faith Dialogue two young people who are in the process of doing that by giving of their energy, their creativity, their intelligence. Please meet Jennifer James, known as JJ to her friends. And so JJ, welcome to Austin Faith Dialogue.
Thank you.
And
Thanks.
Gregory Miller. Gregory is a native of Austin and is ready to go off to Philadelphia to law school. And we're glad to have both of you on Austin Faith Dialogue.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are both with Vista.
Mm-hmm.
And Vista is, well, tell us about, what is Vista and where did it come from? Gregory, why don't you start?
VISTA stands for Volunteers in Service to America. It originated from President Johnson's War on Poverty in mid-60s. It comes from two models of service. The one, WPA, which helped get our country out of the Depression years, and also on the Peace Corps, which was being modeled at the same time. Basically, the idea is that people, young or old, could have a time to devote their energies to solving problems in their communities, or go to other parts of the country and devote their efforts to well, the problems are wide-ranging, from environmental issues to public safety issues to just lack of community. Basically, you just have a year to talk to your neighbors, find out what they want, create a plan, get as many people to join around your plan, and I guess what's the word? Sustainability? That's the big word in Vista. We're trying to leave at the end of each year with a sustainable program, which means once our Vista year is over, the communities are going to be left with something of their own making that's going to be carrying on for.
You are young people of the year 2000, but I am of that generation of the 60s when Vista started in 1965, you said? And I remember those days as being a time when there was a great deal of upheaval in our country. War was going on, a lot of civil rights activities going on, but there was a growing awareness of the opportunity of serving. Vista then is an opportunity to serve. We had a president who invited us to not ask from our nation, but rather ask of ourselves what we could give to our nation. How about that? JJ, how do you see Vista being an opportunity for you to serve?
For me, it's just really given me an opportunity to focus on some different issues that I really care about, education being one, especially educating youth, and being a part of that change, being a part of recognizing where we are now, and also coming together as a community and realizing some of the problems that we are faced with right now in education, and being a part of the solution and working with the community.
How does Jennifer get involved in Vista? Where did you hear about it, and why did you decide to give of your time for this?
Right. I actually started, I got involved with the AmeriCorps National Civilian Community Corps initially.
Now that's a mouthful. Say that once again now. What is that?
It's AmeriCorps National Civilian Community Corps. And that program was patterned directly after the Civilian Conservation Corps. And this program has 5 different campuses throughout the United States, and you actually relocate to one of the 5 campuses. Each campus covers 10 states, and they do projects that last about 6 weeks to 2 months, and they range in all different of volunteerism. You have to do a percentage of environmental work, a percentage of unmet human needs, public safety. Everyone is disaster relief certified.
Wow.
So you're on call all the time.
You grew up in Houston, is that right?
I did.
Yeah, where did you hear about this?
I actually heard about it through a friend who had been involved with NCCC, is what they call it. And through that program, I realized traveling around how much can really be accomplished in such a small amount of time. And getting involved in national service, I heard about VISTA through NCCC and other ways to serve. And I realized that I really wanted to devote my time to one project, to have more time. And VISTA really focuses, it's a year of service, and you devote your time to one project in one area of change. And every project touches poverty in some way, shape, or form, working with private or nonprofit organizations. So I just found an area that I felt really passionately about, and I wanted to come back to Austin because my family has been in Texas for 8 generations, and I feel really close to Texas. And so I really wanted to make a difference in my community and the communities that I care about.
I think that's the key. As we talk about serving this great nation of ours, and there are a variety of ways to serve. And as we celebrate the 4th of July, I think that there are so many young people like you, JJ like you, and Gregory like you, who want to make a difference with their lives. Gregory, you grew up in Austin. Talk a little bit about how you got involved in VISTA and why you want to make a difference.
Well, I have to probably begin with the first time I heard of the WPA programs when I was in high school history class. And something about that just got me really excited about being able to do something that was going to create a lasting monument.
That's amazing. A high school history class really got somebody excited. Now, we need to let people know that. Say that again. A high school history class at McCallum High School, right?
Yeah, McCallum High School.
Great. AISD does good things. Okay.
Yeah, they do. And then also it was when Clinton was running for president, and I went and saw him speak at UT, and he was addressing, a group of students, and so he told us that he wanted to kind of enhance the VISTA program as it was, and that was the first time I think I recall hearing about it, something that we could do here in the country, as opposed to, the Peace Corps, where you have to go away for 2 years. You could actually do something here. It's just a great thing. I grew up on the north side of Austin, on the west side of I-35. A lot of our students were bused in from other neighborhoods on the east side of Austin. Other than that, that was really the only contact that these two seemingly separate pieces of my home had, which caused a lot of discomfort, So by accepting this position, I have a chance to work directly with the communities in East Austin in a very positive way.
What has that done for you? For a young man like yourself, self-admitted, living in kind of an isolated area, and then have the opportunity of diversity and experiencing another beautiful part of this city, East Austin, and being able to be a part of it. What have you discovered over there?
I'm discovering more and more every day. For example, the history of East Austin is incredibly rich. And not only is it rich, there's quite a community of people who carry that history around with them all the time, who are very aware of their place and time and geography. I've seen one of the other things that's really starting to have an impact on me is the different political styles of East and West Austin. And one of the things I'm beginning to find out is East Austin is very active. They're very well organized in some of the neighborhoods. It's just the manner of expression doesn't always... So I'm learning a lot about translating languages. I'm learning so much, really. You might not
And
ask
all
me
of
that.
this learning has led you to decide that you're going to go on to law school. And do you have any particular interest in what you might do once you become a lawyer? Do you want to do any particular kind of law?
Oh, definitely. I believe civil rights law is really crucial, only because it's such an umbrella. We can touch a lot of things like civil rights in public education, civil rights in healthcare, civil rights in legal representation. I believe that's where it's at. Social equity, I believe, is
JJ, have you noticed as Gregory talks, there's a sparkle in his eyes? You know, he really gets. You talked about the
Yes.
passion you have within you for the
Yes.
program, but Gregory, I see the same kind of passion in you, that you have a real sense and awareness that you can do something with your life and make a difference.
Well, that's the whole Vista deal. You pretty much, once you get there, they turn over these keys to you, and you can do whatever you want
Right.
with that. So depending on how much energy you have or enthusiasm, you can do a lot as a Vista. A lot of people are like, well, you're only working for below minimum wage and whatever, and the hours are long and everything. But the trade-offs that we're getting in terms of experience,
Right.
it's just
And
incredible.
the people you're meeting.
The people we're meeting.
If you were going to
Yeah.
invite somebody, Jennifer, JJ, sorry,
That's
okay, JJ, to be a part of Vista, what would you say would be an opportunity they should not pass up?
Well, it's so broad that I just really encourage people to, before they get involved with Vista, one, to find out what Vista is about, and also to research what's available, what programs have Vista volunteers, and something that they do feel very passionately about, that they can really get involved in, because we all love what we do.
Yes.
And
And they could come and visit with you.
certainly.
Where's your office?
certainly. We're located at American Youth Works, and it's downtown Austin on 4th and Brazos. And anyone is more than welcome to contact me if they want Vista information, application. Be more than happy to tell them about it. Vista isn't for everyone, but
Right.
for those of us who have chosen it, service becomes a lifestyle. It's not
Oh, that's a
something.
nice motto.
Yeah,
Service a lifestyle. That's
yeah,
great.
it's not. I mean, I serve outside of my Vista year, and you know, my days with my project, and it's really important to me. It's something I'll always do, and it is a lifestyle for me.
Gregory Miller, we just have a minute left before
Okay.
we have to take a break and give a plug to AMM. So
Okay.
tell me, what about you? What would you say? And do you think young people like you really want to serve?
I hope so. You know, we have so many different people serving, and it's yeah, I hope so. That's all I can say. I definitely hope so, and I'd encourage anybody to talk to us. Can I give our phone number right
Sure,
now?
you
Okay, it's
bet.
472-8220. Is that right?
3395.
472-3395, extension 181. They can ask for Jennifer or myself.
Okay.
People should call us and talk with us. We have a lot of time to try to talk to people and let them know if it's right for them or not. But like I said, if people can maybe spend a day with us and get a feel for it.
We want to thank you. We want to thank you for making a difference with your lives, and we want to thank you for being a part of Austin Faith Dialogue.
bet.
And we hope that you'll stay with us as we continue talking about 4th of July weekend and serving America. I've been waving the flag on Austin Faith Dialogue, and we thank you for staying with us. We're talking about serving America. And on the 4th of July weekend, that's really important for all of us who are citizens of this great country. How can we serve, and what can we do to make it a better place? And in the top part of the program, you met a couple young people who are doing that through Vista, and I'd like you to meet a couple more who are doing that. I want you to meet Melissa Kirkby. And Melissa, welcome to Austin.
Thanks.
And welcome to Austin Faith Dialogue. And Jim Costello. I love your name, Jim Costello. Welcome to Austin Faith Dialogue.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you both here. I met you when I came over to the Austin Community Gardens one day. I was really trying to track Melissa down and find out where she is. And Jim, you were so friendly and warm to me, and wondering who is this strange guy with a collar
Right.
coming in to talk to us. And you visited with me, and so I said, these are young people who are making a difference in what they do. Talk a little bit about your experience and how you became a part of Volunteers in Service to America. Melissa, how did that happen for you?
Well, I'm just getting started down here, so it's something I've been thinking about a lot as I kind of go through the days thinking, how did I end up here?
Kind of mysterious.
I just graduated from college at the beginning of May, and I had a major in sustainable agriculture, and I wanted to use it and combine it with service in some way, because just through my experiences, I've realized that things become so much more meaningful when they're combined with working with other people.
That word, sustainable. Gregory, who was on the first part of the program, and JJ, they were saying that's a buzzword, I guess, with Vista, something sustainable. What does that mean when you talk about sustainable agriculture?
Well,
Lots of things.
nobody really has a clearly defined answer for that yet, but sustainability means looking at things, how you can keep them going in a way that's healthy and thriving over time, and you can look at it on all different levels, from environmental to social to economic, and you find again and again that everything ties together. One thing, in order to be sustainable, it has to be sustainable in all those areas in order for it to truly work. So
that interdependency, that connection, yeah,
Right.
that's something important.
So when you talk about sustainable agriculture, immediately you're talking about sustainable communities with food as a basis. We all have to eat. So yeah, not only, the reason I was attracted to the Austin Community Gardens is because not only is it looking at making gardening something that's available to people in urban settings who don't have big backyards.
Right.
It's looking at environmental issues in cities.
I want to talk to you about that, because hold on to that, because
Okay.
I have a big backyard. I hope you see it sometime.
I don't.
But I do. But I have lots of trees, and so I need to talk to you a little bit about that, and maybe off the air we can discuss that, because I'd like to. Jim, how did you find out about Vista? And you've been in Austin for a little while, you said.
Sure.
Come on in and talk to me a little
Oh,
bit
you
about
bet.
that.
You
Yeah.
bet. I'd be glad to
Yeah.
tell you. So, well, for me, I'd always had a mind kind of for service. I'd had an interest in doing, some full-time service for a while, for like the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure in what area I would actually end up doing that, whether it be the Peace Corps or some Peace Corps alternative, some sort of program. I really wanted to, I was really looking into some options like that. And it happened that, this past year I started to become more involved in local agriculture, involved in a community-supported agriculture project, a farm out in East Austin. And as I started to become more involved with that, I found, wow, I felt a real passion kind of, starting to materialize. I'm like, wow, this is something I could really, I would really like to learn more about and, do more with. So, and it just happened, this opportunity with Austin Community Gardens became available. And, I found out about it, and one of my friends was working there also, and it was just a really nice fit. Everything really fell into place, and everything was very much in line with my motivations,
Now, you don't have to follow my line of thinking on this, but from my point of view as a person of faith, I sense, direction and spirit and an awareness of what I call the deity or the Holy One, kind of giving some sort of direction. And it seems to me when you talk about things falling into place. Let me ask you both this. Do you think there's a growing sense in your generation, and I know this is generalization, but is there a sense of wanting to serve? You heard me say that I come out of the 60s, and there was a real sense of servanthood there, I think, wanting to make a difference and change the culture. And then it seems that maybe we lost sight of that. And people who are watching Austin Faith Dialogue say, no, I'm of the 70s and 80s, we didn't lose sight of it. But it seems like maybe we did. But in the 90s and now moving into the year 2000, do you think your generation, Melissa, is really contemplating or pondering what it means to serve our nation? What's your and the world community also?
Mm-hmm. I think you can't really live in this generation without being aware of how many different problems are out there, how many different ways you can work to solve a problem or make a place better. And beginning into this Vista world, I'm seeing how many people our age feel so passionately that they can and need to serve. Mm-hmm. And it's really inspiring to see all the different ways that different people are helping. And
I have found it so exciting calling the Vista offices in preparation for this program and talking to such fine young people. And it gives me a great deal of comfort about the future for our country. Jim, how about you? Your same way, do you think there is that within what Melissa said? You concur with her on that?
Right. Well, in my experience, based on, what I've been doing, the more I get involved and the more that, I start, seeing things going on in the community here and just, around the country, the more I realize, wow, there really are people that, are really interested in making a difference, doing, what they can to, to help improve their surroundings. And that's, what has helped inspire me.
What are some of the issues that you really are concerned about as a young citizen of this country? What are some of the things that we mentioned? Education?
Sure, yeah. Sure. Well, for me, I don't know, it's kind of changing, as, days and months go on. Right now, I have a keen interest in, the environment and sustainable agriculture and that sort of thing. And the whole, food system in general in communities around the country and around the world. But and that's really critical, I think. But everything's connected, as
Melissa said. Food is a big item. We have to have food. But what about it's a fact of life? That's right. You need to eat, right? I think I heard Margaret Mead say that many, many years ago. That was very basic, that we need to eat. But what about corporations? Do they get involved at all with something like Austin Community Gardens? Are you kind of on your own? Who helps you with doing your work at Austin Community Gardens? Where does your support come from? The federal government, yes, you're a federal program, but what about people wanting to be involved in Austin Community Gardens? Do they come over and they just get a patch of ground and you say, this is your garden, or how does that work?
Well, that's one way to do it, certainly. There's a lot of different means by which one could help us out and just become, to help our group out. I mean, we're a nonprofit organization, but we have a lot of different projects, involving everything from community gardening, whereby people come by and rent a plot of land that they can tend and grow whatever they care to.
And a person can do that.
It's
a family
can
do that.
You bet. Grow their own food just organically, and it's a really nice service to offer to people. I think, in East Austin especially, that's an area that we're really on helping lower income people to, help, grow part of their own,
excellent.
Their food for the year or whatnot. So, but we also have youth programs and horticultural therapy programs where we set up gardens at different like assisted living centers and at the School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. So places like that. There's a lot of different areas where people might help out.
Melissa, you've just come to Austin and you've realized that this is an interesting place to try to grow a garden. There are a lot of challenges here.
Yeah.
But you have seen, you said to me, something fascinating, the farmers market program that you and Jim are involved in. Tell our Austin Faith Dialogue audience, what do Vista workers do with farmers market? What's that all about?
Well, throughout Austin, there are a number of different farmers markets on different days of the week. One group of people has come together and identified a need to have fresh produce available in low-income neighborhoods around the city and places where people might not have time or space for growing their own food. So we have teamed up with the Sustainable Food Center and some other urban farmers to provide a small farm stand for people who are on the WIC program, which stands for Women, Infants, and Children. It's a federally funded program that gives them coupons that they can come redeem at our market. So that's what Jim and I get to do on Wednesday mornings.
So on Wednesday mornings, you go out to the farmer's market, and then women who have those coupons, they can come and then get some of the natural produce. That sounds really good. You know, I am not in that program, but I have to give a plug on this program for a person I know. Her name is Viola Hall, and she lives in Go Valley, East Austin, all right? Beautiful soil. And Viola has a wonderful garden, and she will provide for her pastor. And that means to all of you in the Austin Faith Dialogue viewing audience, you take care of your pastors and bring them some good produce. And she brings that to me, and there's nothing quite like enjoying that kind of produce. What do you see when these mothers come and they turn in those coupons, and what's their reaction to getting that type of food? Pretty excited?
Oh yeah. Sometimes certainly it's nice. Just it's not something that they have access to, wide access to in East Austin for certain. There isn't a lot of fresh produce available, so part of it is just raising their awareness of that this is available, and wow, there is fresh, healthy, nutritious, locally grown produce at their disposal, and it's better for them just health-wise, for them spiritually,
for their babies,
absolutely,
for everything. Yeah.
So interest is starting to pick up, and people are starting to take notice of it.
And after being on Austin Faith Dialogue, there's going to be a lot more interest, because people are going to say, we saw you there, and they're going to come. Where is this farmer's market located in East Austin?
Wow. Well,
It's at the WIC. There's a center, a clinic, and it's the WIC clinic in Montopolis, from 8 to 12 on Wednesday mornings.
I was just checking to see if you could say Montopolis. I'm really new here, all right? Yeah. And it's open on Wednesday mornings.
you bet.
Anything you want to say about Vista? I know you're just so new on it, but what's it done for you? Is it fun to come and get into a new part of the world and the country, and a little scary?
Well, it is. It's a little overwhelming, but it's great. And one of my goals when I was in college, thinking about my job ahead of me, was that I'd be able to get up in the morning and look forward to going to work. And so far, that's been the case.
Yeah.
So.
And Jim, how about you?
Well, I'll tell you, for me, it's been a really inspiring experience, just being able to, really make a difference. And you can really see it, when you're out there in the community doing this sort of work. And yeah, I would wholeheartedly encourage anybody anyone has any inclination towards service, to check out AmeriCorps. It's a good way to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we're very fortunate, because you two, along with JJ and Gregory, represent a group of people who want to serve. And so, Melissa, you think your generation really wants to serve America?
I think so.
And you're an example of it, I think, and I thank you for that. With all the challenges that are ahead, and that America can be, Jim, a leader in the world and sharing together. And we invite you in the Austin Faith Dialogue audience to check out Vista. Call their office, visit with them, go by the Austin Community Gardens and see what's going on over there. And maybe you even want to have a garden, a plot of ground where you can grow your own good, nutritious food. We thank you so much for watching, and we, on Austin Faith Dialogue, hope that you'll have a most wonderful and joyous 4th of July. May peace be with you. Thanks.